Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecca. Welcome back to the 9 o'clock weather stream show. We do this here every day during the work days and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. So if you're joining from either place, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment. Hopefully I'll be able to go through them all as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. But let's get started with a look at our headlines, what we're tracking out for the next couple of days. Well, through the rest of tonight, it'll be pretty quiet. We're looking at partly cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower, but we're really not expecting much in the way of showers and storms until we get into tomorrow. We'll have better chances, and even then, I think they'll still be fairly isolated. Not everybody gets to see that kind of rain. And then looking beyond Monday, high pressure builds back in through the middle and end of the work week, so that keeps us nice and dry from Tuesday through Friday, and the humidity drops as well, so it's going to feel a lot more comfortable out there, whereas, we've been very humid with dew points in the 60s for the last week, so it's been feeling sticky outside. It's not going to feel like that come Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We do start to see the humidity increase once again by the end of next week and into the weekend. But let's take a look at our setup across the country. We've got high pressure anchored just off to our east. We've got this frontal boundary that's been draped over the tri-state here, and it's been wavering back and forth over the last 2 weeks, which is why we've had a rather unsettled weather pattern, but it has kind of tapered off a little bit over the last couple of days. We had a few spotty showers throughout the day today, but most people didn't see anything. They were really light, just a few sprinkles. There were a couple of thunderstorms that passed well to the south and west of the tri-state through areas of southeastern Missouri and extreme western portions of Kentucky, just south of Paducah. They were catching a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings with this decaying line of showers and storms that was moving through. But we stayed dry here across the tri-state, a little bit more in the way of cloud cover this afternoon, but we cleared out nicely here to kind of round out the day. So we'll hold on to partly cloudy skies through the rest of the night tonight, and then temperatures drop down into the mid-60s overnight as well. And I think we may have two chances for some showers, one in the morning and then an isolated chance at a thunderstorm towards the afternoon hours with just the heating of the day. So as you head out to work to early tomorrow morning, you may see a little bit of rain, but we're not expecting anything too crazy. I think the worst of it still stays south and west of Evansville. Temperatures tomorrow climb back up into the lower 80s, topping out at around 82 or 83 degrees. And taking a look at that severe thunderstorm risk, we're not really outlooked for any severe weather here in the tri-state, but that contour is pretty close, especially across western Kentucky. They've got that level 1 across portions of southern Illinois, down towards Paducah, out towards Cape Girardeau. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this shifted either back towards the tri-state or away, but either way, I still think an isolated strong storm can't be completely ruled out, but widespread severe weather is not expected for tomorrow. Most of us just get away with your typical shower and thunderstorm activity, but let's take a look at the timing here through tonight and into tomorrow. Staying mostly dry, some clouds begin to increase through early morning hours, and then here's that rain in the morning. Again, I think a lot of it still stays to the south and west of Evansville, and then as we get into the afternoon, if we do see enough sunshine, we may get a couple of little thunderstorms to pop up there, but again, that would be fairly isolated. So, not looking at widespread rain, not going to be a washout of a day by any means. You can still do some outdoor activities, and then it looks like clouds will stay partly cloudy, or at least skies will stay partly cloudy through the overnight hours, and then high pressure builds in for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday. So that clears us out nicely. We'll see a full-on return of that sunshine. Rain chances pretty much drop down to around 0, but temperatures hold steady in the low to mid 80s. And with that dropping humidity, it's going to feel very, very nice out there. So I know a lot of kids are on summer break now. Maybe you're headed out on vacations. You're trying to do something outside, go to the pool, go for a hike, eat outside, whatever. I think it's going to be a very good week for it. Most of us, though, still have to go to work inside, which is unfortunate. It's always the work days that always end up having the nicest weather, especially, in the middle of the work week where you're not even close to the weekend. But And that's just the kind of pattern that we're in. And looking ahead to next weekend, it already looks like it's going to be on the rainier side. So hopefully you took advantage of the nicer weather this weekend while you can, because, outside of the work week, it does look to get a little bit rainy by the time we get into next Saturday, Sunday, and even into the following week. But here's how this all plays out on the longer range European model. That frontal boundary that's been plaguing us with those showers and storms will kind of dissipate and push well off to our southwest, all thanks to that high pressure system building into the north. And as that high pressure builds in from the north, you'll notice that the winds coming out of the northeast will help bring in that more refreshing air mass. So it's not going to be as humid out there. It'll be very comfortable, but it does drop off to our east, which eventually brings winds back up out of the south. So that's where we'll start to feel a little bit more in the way of humidity towards Friday and especially into next weekend. And that's all going to be out ahead of a frontal boundary that's going to be passing to our north. That's going to kick up the chance for a couple of showers and a few storms throughout next weekend and even into the start of the following week. So it looks like we'll stay a little bit more unsettled as well. But I do want to show you just where our dew points are sitting at now, mostly in the low to mid 60s, which is right around that humid category. Usually when dew points start to crack that 60-degree mark, that's when you start to feel that stick in the air. So it's been a little bit humid out there, nothing too unbearable, but I think as we get into tomorrow, especially out ahead of any shower or thunderstorm chances, it will start to feel a little bit muggy, and then it drops way down, especially for Tuesday and into Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to feel really nice, but you'll notice by the time we get into Friday, headed into Saturday, it shoots way back up through the humid category all the way up into the muggy category. That's because that's where those southerly winds are bringing in that moisture from the south. So not only are the dew points going to increase for the latter half of next week, specifically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but so are those temperatures. We could be topping back out in the mid to upper 80s by the first half of next weekend, but it is going to be accompanied by that chance for additional showers and storms. But I'm telling you, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday, they are going to be very, very nice. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. Temperatures steadily increase through the lower 80s all the way into the mid to even upper 80s by the time we get into Friday. But we're rounding out the month of May here, so I did want to take a look, especially at those temperatures. We've had a little bit of a roller coaster ride. We started out the month on the cooler side. We even had the coldest day of the month on the 2nd of May. It was 58 degrees. And then we actually had the warmest temperature of the month on the 17th, and that was 88 degrees. And since then, we've kind of varied in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but we've been a little bit more consistent here within the last week and a half with temperatures hanging out in the low to mid 80s. So it does round out to around normal. We're still slightly below where we should be in terms of our temperatures, and precipitation also has been kind of lackluster. We haven't seen a whole lot in terms of precipitation for this entire year, including winter and the first half of spring, but with that active weather pattern we saw over the last 2 weeks, it has helped taken out a little bit of that deficit, and it helped take a bite out of that drought. But with that high pressure system sliding off to our east, it looks like we might see a lot more of that kind of setup headed into the first half of June. So you'll see from June 6th through June 10th that much of the tri-state is included in that higher probability of seeing above average temperatures. So it is going to stay warm. It's definitely going to start feeling like summer for sure. And it also looks like we'll also stay on the wetter side. We'll have better chances for showers and storms as well headed into the first half of the month. So keep that in mind, which is all good news, especially for the farmers. You know, they've been struggling with the lack of rainfall, especially this year. So that's all I've got for the forecast. Let me go ahead, take a full screen so you can get a better look at it. In the meantime, I am going to check out some of the comments, see if I can answer any questions that you may have. Let me go ahead and open this up. All right. Oh, thank you guys. I see a lot of people commenting. It is my, last day here at 14 News. It's been a pleasure over the last 2 years. It's really been, a wild ride. I've covered a lot of things I never thought I would ever cover in my life, especially in regards to severe weather, and that's definitely a big hurdle to learn, especially as a new meteorologist. And I can't thank you all enough for kind of going along that journey with me and welcoming me into the community with open arms. So I'm definitely going to miss you guys. Hopefully I have also great luck with the viewers out there in Portland. I'm sure I will. But you guys are really hold a special place in my heart, especially the stream viewers. You guys are always here to talk with me, especially at the end of these streams. That's why I like to go through the comments and answer some of your questions and check out what you have to say. So thank you for all the well wishes, and I'll miss you guys a great deal, especially the weather team. Jeff, Byron, and Arden have been nothing short of a second family to me. So that's definitely going to be hard to leave. But hopefully, I got the same luck headed into my next place, and that's what I'm most looking forward to. So thank you all for that so much. But yeah, I don't see any other questions. So that is all I've got here for the forecast. Of course, I'll be right back on air at 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. So until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your weekend.